and welcome to Movie Couple Live. This is a show where we talk about the latest in pop culture and movie news. I'm Wendy.
I'm Dustin.
And happy Saturday. Wait.
Yeah, it is
Okay.
Saturday.
Happy Saturday,
It's going
everybody.
to be it's our nice long weekend. You know, we've got Memorial Day coming up, so.
What does that even... I feel like for Memorial Day, people nowadays, they don't celebrate it like the way it's meant to be celebrated. It's, it's
That's kind of
capitalism. It's Memorial Day sale.
Yeah, true.
Barbecue sale.
Barbecue and sale. As
Yes.
long as we remember those who have fought for America.
Yes.
And I don't know if like other countries have their form of
Yeah.
like a Memorial Day, actually, now that you mention it.
Good question. Well, we have a few international viewers, so if you guys have anything similar to a Memorial Day that is in the U.S., let us know in the chat. And before we jump into, I already see our first super chat there from Dawson8888. I feel like it's D. Austin. I want to say Dawson, but I want to say it's D. Austin. We want to let you guys know what we're talking about today. So we're, of course, talking about the Bad Batch spoiler discussion for episode 5.
We're also going to be talking about our thoughts on A Quiet Place 2.
Oscar Isaac confirmed as Moon Knight, as we didn't know already.
Oh, yeah, very true. And also Willem Dafoe to reprise his role as the Green Goblin.
Could it be? And of course, Danai Guirira. I feel like her name is actually pronounced Denis. I've seen it. I've heard it both ways, but correct me if I'm wrong, please. But she is going to reprise her role as Okoye in the Black Panther TV series. All this and more coming up on today's show. So glad you guys are all able to come by and hang out with us today. And thank you for taking the time out of your day to, hang out. Late to the party is here. Woo! The party can get started. The party can get started. And hey, since late to the Navi really wants to say hi.
Hi, everybody.
Oh my gosh.
I just placed my hand down for a second. I accidentally bumped her in the nose. I'm like, oh, Navi. She's like, Daddy, pay attention to me.
Snoot, no.
So I'm sorry, Navi.
Yes.
But it's okay. She's now up here. Just look at how grumpy
she hates it. She wanted to be up here. This happens every live stream. If you're new to the stream, it's a very impromptu, very casual kind of a hangout as we discuss, what the going-ons in the latest movie news and pop culture. And our dog Navi would like to be in the center of attention all the time, but only when we're streaming, because when we're not streaming, when the camera's not on,
she goes over to her bed and she's like,
she wants to be by herself. She likes to have her own space. She doesn't like to, if we're watching TV, she would rather not hang out with us. But the second she knows the camera's on, she's like, oh my gosh, I got to get on that with my cuteness. And then so when we bring her on, and then she's like, no, but don't. I'm sensitive and I can't. I'm shy. You're not shy.
You love any and all attention you can get.
So she'll stay on Dustin's lap for as long as she feels like it.
As long as I let her.
Yeah.
She will not leave unless I actually take her off.
Yeah, she won't jump. She won't jump down. But hey, since Late to the Party is here, let's talk about very quickly our kind of pseudo experience, because we weren't in the same place together, but we were watching the same thing at the same time. And we're talking about A Quiet Place 2, which will also kind of jump into the super chat from Austin8888, who writes, the opening to A Quiet Place 2 was amazing. It makes me want to see multiple perspectives of the invasion. I couldn't agree with that more. So we don't want to spoil anything for you. We did get to see the movie on Thursday, the 27th, day before it came out. And it was a really nice treat. You guys have heard us talk about it here. Cinemark, thank you so much for hosting us at the event. We went to the Playa Vista location. The first time ever. It was so
nice to have movie theater popcorn again and sit in the theater. It was really cool.
It was really cool. It was Dustin and I, our first venture back to theater experience since, California shut everything down. So we literally have not walked into a movie theater in over a year. And the very first thing, even with masks on and everything, the first thing that hit our senses was that butter popcorn. So we definitely treated ourselves to a large tub of butter popcorn, some soda. We definitely indulge in one or two movie theater hot dogs. Cinemark food is really, really, really good.
Oh, yeah. They're hot. I have to admit, their hot dog was for a movie theater hot dog. It was really good. I was a little bummed that we weren't able to get a fountain drink because
COVID.
Because of COVID, and they were just trying to be safe. So people weren't like touching the fountain drink.
Yeah.
So we only got like a bottle of what is it? Just like those little bottles of Coke.
20 ounce, whatever you want to call it.
There's something about a fountain soda that just tastes so good too, that I miss.
Yeah, we missed it. It was a great experience. Everybody was social distance. And as you guys know, the Quiet Place 2 event that we went to was a fan event. And there was a Q&A right after the film with John Krasinski, writer-director of the film, and was moderated by another filmmaker, J.J. Abrams. And they were taking questions from social media. And believe it or not, our friends, late to the party, Robert and Vanessa asked a really cool question. I'll be posting the full Q&A up on our channel a little bit later, so just look for that. It's not up yet, but it will be once I get through with it. So yeah, they were there watching at the same time, but we weren't because we were not in the same state. But rejects were there, and the real reject John made a tiny little cameo in our vlog. So our vlog is up on the channel for you guys to check out. And kind of going back to what Austin is saying here, the first 7 to 8 minutes maybe, the how A Quiet Place 2 opened is phenomenal. I've been dying. Dustin actually said it when we rewatched Quiet Place 1, that was something that he was hoping we could see, is kind of the day it happened.
And day one.
Just kind of speaking candidly about it, and also kind of taking into consideration what we saw in the trailer. So it was really nice to get that perspective of things being really, normal before essentially crap hit the fan. And now you have these aliens and you have to adjust very quickly. Because these monsters are savage.
So that is actually something that, especially what D. Austin said, is the fact that I would love to see multiple perspectives on this. To actually find out that these creatures only landed in certain locations, kind of a thing. So there's still, human civilization that is trying to recover, but wherever there is not a body of water separating, the different places, how are they surviving? How, you could tell a completely new story in a completely different town. What would happen if it landed in a big city?
Just anywhere in the world. So we also heard that in the Q&A, John Krasinski says that there would be a third installment in the works. When I heard that, I was like, oh,
there's a third.
What? So we don't know if that would be essentially a continuation of this group that we've been kind of journeying along with. Is that the right word to say? Sure, why not? I already said it. Or we would see a different perspective of someone else. I don't know, but I would like to think that we'd continue with the current cast. And see where they go from here, having learned what we learned from chapter 1 and chapter 2. Or part 1 and part 2. So I think that's really cool. Our non-spoiler review is up on the channel right now if you guys would like to take a look. It's a little bit longer of a video. Don't let it scare you. I actually put little timestamps on the little progression bar if you're watching it from the desktop. I don't think that works really on mobile. Not sure.
Not on mobile, I think. Well, it might.
It might, but I have it broken up where it's like the mini vlog, then the movie review, then there's a little unboxing because we got a little bit of a swag from Cinemark and Paramount, and then a tiny portion of the Q&A towards the end. So you can just click to wherever you're interested in watching.
I really do love that Cinemark helped us turn this into an event for us. It really made it feel like we were being welcomed with open arms back into the movie theaters, and how much the movie theaters are just like, please, we love you. We come back to us, kind of a thing, to the audience. And I cannot wait to be able to go back to Cinemark where we can get some more food, get some more, they have a full bar there that you can get. And I'm just like, I want to experience the movies again at the movie theater, and I really do miss that experience.
I just felt for the two of us who have been really cautious throughout the pandemic, and I know the virus hasn't gone away or anything like that, obviously, even though things are starting to reopen, cases are down, people are getting vaccinated, all that stuff, for a long time, and maybe it's because you and I both have been vaccinated. For a long time, you put me in an indoor space with tons of people, my anxiety would go up a little bit. I have to say, the way Cinemark, their approach on social distancing and cleanliness and things like that, their whole procedure made me feel really, really safe. I felt so normal, which was really great. So Yeah, it was a great first movie back into the theater experience. And I'm seeing you guys here. A couple of you guys have seen the movie. Where did he say? I think it was Hello What? Without spoilers, I loved A Quiet Place too. And we echo that thought.
It holds up to the first one. If you like the first one, you'll like the second one. So, I mean, I think it's a great movie to go see to kind of kick off the going back to the theaters kind of a thing.
And also a super chat from Hello What? If my sci-fi novel gets famous, don't let Disney buy it from me without these intense negotiations. The negotiations will not be short, according to Qui-Gon. Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna buy, they're gonna buy it from you. You should absolutely, hypothetically, like negotiate to the best of your terms.
It's your book. It's your baby.
Because once you sign it, you probably can't change it, or you could, but there would be a lot more like lawyering and all that stuff involved.
And I think that's something that you also have to be kind of prepared for. If you do sign it for whatever amount, whatever deal you make with them, when your book becomes super famous, is the fact, be prepared for them to be like, oh yeah, okay, well, we'll try to keep it as close to the original as possible.
Yeah.
And then they're going to completely change it. They did that to George Lucas. I mean, if they could do it to George Lucas,
because they bought it,
they could do, I mean, so it's one of those things of have that going on in the back of your head to where, you know what, they've given me enough money to where they completely change it, I'm fine with it. But if there's
your hands of it, how much did they buy Star Wars for? Billion?
$4 billion.
So much money.
$4 billion they paid for Star Wars.
Whew.
So, and also, you know what? I'm excited to go and to read your book.
Yeah.
So, everyone
drop your link. Drop your link. Hello What? I used to have it, but I don't know where it is anymore. I had it on my notes, but I think my notepad reset or something like that. But you guys, yeah, lots of great movies coming back into theaters. We've got Fast 9, as Debbie mentioned, coming out next week.
That's definitely
trying to get into a press screening. Guys, wish me luck. We'll try reach out to my contact, but we will see because I'm sure capacity and everything is limited. And Noah says, I'm planning to see either A Quiet Place Part 2, hopefully next week, or Black Widow first in theater, making it the first time since Sonic the Hedgehog in 2020 to be in a theater again. Well, best of luck to you, Noah. Whichever film you choose, I think you're going to have a great experience. Just have
and we also have another super chat from Marvin.
Marvin. Right there. Marvin, I'm sorry I missed it. Thank you so much, Marvin. You guys with the super chats. Thank you. Marvin writes, VG recommendation. Primal from PS2. Ooh, okay. Can it be played on PS3?
I'm pretty sure we can find it on downloadable content somewhere. But yeah, Primal is kind of like it's a fighting game, but where you're like, you can be like a gorilla, like kind of like a King Kong character. There's like there's different kinds of dinosaurs kind of creatures that you can have. There's a
dinosaur.
I haven't played it in a really long time, but if you took Mortal Kombat and kind of mixed it with each one are giant monsters, kind of like Rampage.
Yeah.
Kind of a fighting game.
But is it 8-bit?
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
No. It's been out for a while, kind of like when Killer Instinct first came out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've played that game a lot. My little brother, he loves that game. I think he has like every iteration of Primal.
Oh, we should check it out then. Thank you so much, Marvin, for the recommendation. And also moving on to the second part of his super chat, PS2. Sorry, nope, I don't have it up anymore. There we go. Wiki says Moon Knight has DID like a Legend and Split. If you can make your own alternate personality. Oh, there's probably if I could. I'm trying to think. One would be, I think, if I could make
your alternate.
How many would I have? I wonder.
Well, that would be kind of cool.
At least 3.
To kind of create different personalities that were strong at certain things, kind of a thing. So I can switch into that personality. Like say someone that's a really good like negotiator kind of a thing. So when I go to like say when I go to the to different shops that I can have like negotiate on prices.
Like a flea market or something.
Kind of like how your mom is really good at negotiating.
Excellent at haggling. I'm terrible. I fold like a leaf. She's like, you gotta hold your ground. I'm like, I don't know how. I'm scared. She's like, just let me do it.
And then be able to like switch to another character that's very kind of like suave and debonair kind of thing. If you're having like a night out in the town.
Yeah, that's interesting. And Moon Knight, since we're talking about it in a little bit, Mark Spector, I believe is the name, does have, it's a D, yeah, has DID like Legend and Split. So I think if I could make my own alternate personalities, I think one would be just a kid, because that's literally me half the time. I think it would just be some of my characteristics, but kind of punched up in their, in their concentrated forms. So like someone that's really kiddish, someone that is probably like a germaphobe and a neat freak.
Someone that gets a lot of pleasure out of doing things that I don't like to do. That's what I'll do. Someone who likes to work out and eat healthy. So anytime,
that's one of your personalities.
That's one of the personalities. So I'm like, oh, I need to work out. Well, I'll just switch to this character. Okay, let's go to the gym, kind of a thing.
Oh my goodness. Well, there you go.
And then just be able to keep that personality on for a while, and then be like, okay, I want to go back to myself.
Imagine if you could, though, like actually call them out to the forefront like that, because I think they I don't have a complete understanding of it, but I think when they come out, they come out. Like it's not always the dominant one. I think that the main host or whatever you want to call it is like the one that is mostly present, but then they do come out from time to time. Like there is on TikTok, there is a TikToker her husband has DID, and they'll do like a taste test with all of his different personalities. And it's really interesting to watch.
That's interesting.
Like they ate like the blue pepper, like the Takis, the new one, and just really interesting to see how each personality analyze like their bite and like what they liked or didn't like about it. So I found that really interesting. Jaden says, eat the green vegetables. Eat it all. And since we're talking a little bit about Moon Knight, we'll go ahead and bring up this topic here. Oops,
that's
sorry.
Marvin's. That's
Marvin says, I was referring to the game where you play a demon girl.
Oh,
where monsters travel to the other realm to restore balance to universe. Wait.
Okay, then I'm thinking about a completely different game.
So I think Jack said it. Jack said you're thinking of Primal Rage.
Primal Rage. That's what it is.
Primal is a different game. A demon girl. This sounds like it's right up my alley. Hold on a second. But does the PS3 still? Can we still get things from the PlayStation shop? Didn't they say they were going to shut that down a while ago?
I don't know.
For the PS3 models, we better check after this.
I'm sure when we get a PS5, if we're ever able to. I find it funny. Someone did a meme that showed in Avengers Endgame where they were all playing. It was supposed to be 2025, and they were all playing PS4 because the PS5, even in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, hadn't come out yet.
Oh, it was MK who said it was Primal Rage. Thank you, MK, and thank you, Jack, for the correction.
Thank you so much. Yes, I'm sorry. But I haven't heard of the game Primal. I now want to check it out.
I know. I'm
really
so
bad.
Curious. What the heck? Oh, wait. Okay, the store shuts down on the PS3 July 2nd.
Okay, so we have to get it before that.
We have time. So thank you for the heads up to MK and to Marvin for letting us know. We definitely want to check it out. But yeah, back to Moon Knight. Oscar Isaac now actually confirmed to play the lead, the hero, the title character Moon Knight, which is funny because I guess earlier reports when they said it, the language they used was he was in talks or negotiation or whatever it may be. But I think what confused me was that there was that footage of him training and doing all the capoeira. And I think that's like as confirmation as we can get, because how are you going to ask someone who is as busy as Oscar Isaac to be like, hey, for your screen test audition, we're going to see if you can, how well you can pick up capoeira. Like, no, I don't stars like Oscar Isaac don't audition anymore. Studios say, we think we want these actors. They get the script, they read it, and then they go back and forth, and then we see if it's a yes or no.
Yeah.
So I felt like seeing that footage of him training kind of was a confirmation to me, but I love that Marvel was like, hey, that's actually confirmed. And I like the tweet that he put out, which was just like a picture of him with his just up, you can only see his eyes with all the Moon Knight art behind him, and it says we are Moon Knight, because talking about Moon Knight having DID, which also kind of reminded me of the We Are Venom.
Yeah, it kind of does
well, which is kind of because there is another person living inside Tom Hardy's character. Oh God, I'm forgetting his name.
Oh, Eddie Brock.
Thank you. I was gonna say Cletus Cassidy, but I was like, wait, so we haven't seen him yet. So yeah, we're super excited to have Oscar Isaac play Moon Knight. I can't wait to see it. This is coming to Disney Plus. So I'm very excited. I think the Marvel shows have been doing really well. I'm very excited for Loki coming up very soon.
So excited for Loki.
It's gonna be
so curious on what the heck is this whole series gonna be about. I know it's him going through time, and it has to deal with, you know, them trying to get Loki to help them, but the last person you really want to ever help you is Loki.
So speaking of other Marvel news, since we're talking about a little bit of casting here, let's talk about Danai Guirira. And again, I don't know if I'm saying her name correctly because I read in the comments of a different show and saying that it's where we were saying it incorrectly. So if you guys know her name to be pronounced in a different way, please let us know. If you can spell out phonetically in the chat, that would be fantastic and super helpful. But she is going to be reprising her role of as Okoye in the upcoming Black Panther spinoff series coming to Disney Plus. And she will also be in Ryan Coogler's sequel to Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, which totally makes sense. I feel like Dora Milaje and her and Ayo specifically had a large role in that movie. Like, you can't think of the Black Panther movie without also thinking about the Dora Milaje. So it wouldn't make sense unless she got crazy busy with some other project and there was major scheduling conflicts. That would be the only reason I can see her not wanting to return to this awesome role.
And one thing that makes me insanely excited about this is if you guys watched the Avengers Assembled special feature on the making of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, she was talking about how she's always prepared. She's always in shape. Her and all of the other Dora Milaje are always training. So when Marvel calls, they're ready to go. So I don't think there would be any other project that could come along and say, oh yeah, we want to use you for this movie at this time. Oh, I'm sorry, Marvel's got me. I'm not going to say no to them ever.
I'm a Dora Milaje. Have you heard?
And to see not just her, but the entire group, just all completely so excited, so dedicated. And even when they're not getting paid to work and train, they are working and training.
That's a great motivation for anyone to like continue to always work on their fitness, because it's kind of like, oh, what's your motivation to work out? Do you want just a healthier lifestyle? Maybe it's for your mental health, whatever. And your reason could be, well, because Marvel needs me.
It's like because I'm a Dora Milaje.
Because I'm a Dora Milaje.
And I am always prepared.
Yeah, Dora Milaje is always. I just need all very like in t-shirts, just one black t-shirt or red t-shirt with just like a Dora Milaje quote across. Whatever, maybe like the jurisdiction code.
That would be an awesome shirt.
Anything they say, put it on a t-shirt. I will buy it and I will wear it proudly. So this is really exciting to see. So the Black Panther TV show, obviously still untitled, but it's going to be set in the kingdom of Wakanda. And Ryan Coogler is involved in it, which makes me really, really excited for. And the rest of the plot is technically still under wraps, so we don't really know much about it other than the fact that it'll be based in Wakanda, which is something I think a lot of us want to see because their hierarchy, the way their politic works, and then of course their tech.
Yeah, and also
that's what I'm really interested in.
Really curious on after what had happened with Killmonger, if they're gonna, if the Wakandans are gonna start to like say, hey, you know, how can we change up our society a little bit to make it so this kind of thing can't happen again? Or if they're going to stick to the old ways, so to speak. And because they can't really stick to the old ways either, because all of those plants are dead. Because Killmonger burned them all.
That's
except
right.
for one that they gave back to.
See, that's a key point in the movie that I legit forgot about. Yeah,
makes me go back and have to watch that movie again, because I just can't wait to see what they're doing with this and how they're moving forward and more stories from Wakanda.
Yes. And thank you to both Debbie and to MK for dropping in our Discord how to pronounce her name. Debbie spelled it out for us, Danai Guirira, and MK actually put a little video, so we're just going to watch it real quick. I can't hear her.
Nope.
Hold on.
Oh, because it's on mute.
It's on mute. Hold on a second. Why is it so low?
Oh, I don't know.
One more time.
Hi, I am Danai Guirira.
Danai. Well, she says it with so spectacular with her. I can't say the way she does. It's okay. I'm inferior to her, anyways. It doesn't matter. I'm not trying to compare myself to her because she is awesome.
No,
but thank you to the both of you for dropping that in our Discord.
She is one of those people that you're kind of like, yeah, you know, I'm pretty sure there's just so many more things that you can do better.
She's
than
like
me.
super smart too. Yeah. And also, since we're talking about Discord, if anybody who is new to the stream or you've watched our stream for a while and you want to join our Discord community of the Movie Bunch, I'm going to go ahead and drop our Discord link in the chat right now. It's a community, it's a safe space for us and our Movie Bunch to discuss anything and everything from movies to TV shows to books to what we're listening to food, to pets, anything. The only requirement is for you to be a decent human being and be nice to others and be respectful of their opinion. It's really, really simple. If it feels like this is something you don't want to, like, if you have to question, what I'm about to say kind of mean? Maybe don't hit send. So just think about it that way.
If you wouldn't say it to their face,
yes,
don't type it in there.
Correct. There you have. That's actually a good way to say it. Do you have the balls to say it to somebody like in their face and actually face their reaction? Because if you're not, maybe you don't say it. All right, let's go ahead and
we do have one super chat.
I'm so sorry, I'm missing it.
From Hello What?
Hello What?
And
this one?
Yes.
My dream is to hopefully audition for being a movie stuntman. Nice. I want to audition for the live action Avatar: The Last Airbender or any other live action. I mean, you know what? That's a great goal.
We're right there with you.
We're right there with you.
There is something so cool about being able to do these stunts and being able to, when you look on film, to be able to be like, yeah, that's me. It makes you feel awesome. It makes you feel like a superhero.
Yes.
When we used to do sword fighting and when we used to do a little bit, dabbling a little bit in stunts, it was really cool to be able to see the final product, to see the footage. And sometimes you just look at the footage and you're like, wow,
I did that.
I look like such a badass.
Yeah, if you have the right team assembled, as in stunt coordinator and other stuntmen or women, stunt person, and a great camera crew that knows how to capture the reactions and the hits, then you can really look like a badass. So I hope that your dream comes true. Continue to work towards it. Best of luck to you, and keep us posted. You know, go study the arts, go study all various types of martial arts, all different types of weapons, get your training and talk to the people in the community. And I think, you know, you start networking, and that's probably the best way to go. But I think that's an awesome goal. Let's see, what else are we talking about today? We talked about Danai, we've talked about Oscar. Let's talk about, so I specifically put it in the ticker here. It is a rumor. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up the article that I have picked out for this one. And Navi is released. She is released. So Willem Dafoe famously portrayed the Green Goblin in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. He has been, this is just a rumor. There's been no comments from Disney or Marvel. It has not been confirmed by anybody at all. So this is a rumor, but he is rumored to be Spider-Man 3's main villain, which honestly, it wouldn't be so far off if he did decide to, you know, make a cameo or come back to be the main villain, because we have Doc Ock coming back, Alfred Molina reprising his role, and we have I believe Tobey Maguire is confirmed.
I don't know if
to return.
It's one of those things to where you hear it's confirmed, but then it's not confirmed. And then exactly who was it confirmed by? Kind of a thing.
If it's not one of the main four sources, then I usually take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah. And also it's one of those things that you're kind of like, I'm wondering if they're putting out a lot of this information to kind of throw us off the scent. To make so we're like, everyone has these rumors going around right now about, oh yeah, Doc Ock and Green Goblin and Toby and Andrew Garfield, and we're getting everyone, and oh wait, it's only some people, but wait, so it's when it comes down to it, we don't really know until we see the movie.
On the flip side, while I think it would be really cool to see him, you know, play the Green Goblin or Norman Osborn again, I think at this point, I'd rather not hear any more about it, because I think of how cool it would be. And it's kind of hard to avoid because of social media and kind of in like our line of work, what we do. But how cool will it be to walk into a theater really knowing just kind of like, okay, well, maybe this is going to happen. They're maybe playing with the Spider-Verse or the multiverse, and then having these characters from previous Spider-Man movies show up. I think the surprise would be a lot more, it would have a lot more impact than us kind of already sort of maybe knowing. But maybe they also have more surprises for us in store that we don't know. Marvel and Sony have worked together, since the first Spider-Man movie. And I think Marvel is very good at keeping secrets, and they're very good at misdirection. So you're right. This could be a total misdirection. So it could happen. It may not happen. But what are you guys' thoughts on it? Do you think this movie, it feels a little bit now overstuffed, or do you not care because you would just want to see some of these characters come back and play, their previous role on screen again? I think it'll be pretty cool actually to see the Green Goblin. He was great.
The Green Goblin. I mean, honestly, same with Doc Ock. The William Dafoe did an amazing job.
Mm-hmm.
Doc Ock did an amazing job.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see them come back in maybe even like a small capacity to where you kind of see Tom Holland go from one portal, and you see Tobey Maguire and Doc Ock fighting on the train, and you go, and they're both kind of like,
what was that? Or they just don't notice at all because the fight's too intense.
But they kind of have to say that they're in the movie because
they are in the movie.
Because they are in the movie.
Yeah.
But you're just using like a scene from the original movie, kind of.
That would be really interesting. And I just wonder. Gosh, I think this movie is going to be bananas.
Yeah.
I really do think it's going to be crazy. I can't wait to see it. We get to see it this year, too. So that's really exciting. We really don't have to wait too much longer to find out. And if things continue to go the way they go, as far as pandemic goes, we can all enjoy this in the movie theater with a nice big bucket of popcorn, butter popcorn.
Yeah, but also back to the fact of how much news is always coming out. That is one thing that I do kind of miss. It is really hard for movies these days to surprise us. It took so much time, energy, money, planning, for example, for them to put like Baby Yoda in The Mandalorian, for us to go, I had no idea that was coming.
They
kind
really
of a thing.
hid that. They hid
that so
They took
well.
a hit on the merch from the very beginning just so they can hide it, because they didn't let any toy companies know that this was happening, so that they couldn't start making the toys, because you have to give them the rights and the images and all that stuff. So the toys would look accurate to the screen, but if once you do that, things tend to leak out, or maybe they say like, oh, this is what's coming up, and there's slate, and they release like a untitled Star Wars toy, but it's very obvious that this is a species of Yoda. Like, you really cannot miss the big ears and the color green. That people would immediately speculate. So I love that Star Wars hid that purposely, because it was such a nice surprise to see. I think there were squeals in this house, just like, oh, what is that? It's so cute. And then proceeding to buy all the Baby Yoda toys.
And yet back in the late 90s, early 2000s, it was probably so much easier. Before everyone got a recording device on their phones that they carry with them everywhere, it was probably so much easier to be able to sneak someone on set, have no one find out. Even when they filmed Iron Man, people found out that Nick Fury had made
how did they do that? They just like sneak onto the most outer part of like the set where there's no security, and then they take out their giant lens that's like 10 feet long, and they're like, boom, boom.
Or it's just like, it was one of those things that it was like they knew that it was Samuel L. Jackson on set. And like they were like, well, there's been talks about Samuel L. Jackson being Nick Fury, so there's probably a scene at the end of Iron Man with Nick Fury, kind of a thing. And
sounds about right.
I'm like, I wish there was just an easier way sometimes for production companies to keep these things on the down low.
Oh, interesting. MK says the original prosthetics that they had for the Green Goblin in Raimi's Spider-Man was so cool. Wish they had kept that design. I wonder what that looked like. MK, if you can, drop that in our live discussion channel. If you can find it, I'd love to see what the original design was, because I don't like how different is it from the one that we got in the Raimi film? Yeah. In the final product. There it is. MK is quick, man. MK is quick on the money. Oh, okay. Whoa, that's comic book accurate.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Let me see.
But yeah, then they
can...
changed it from that to the metallic, like the metallic
helmet. Yes. I guess they wanted to.
Yeah. Oh wow.
That looks fantastic, and how it moves.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's. I actually wouldn't have minded that. That looks cool.
Oh, especially the eyes.
Yeah.
Too.
I kind of love that, actually. I actually kind of. I mean, I don't hate the movie version either.
Oh no.
But this looks really, really cool. I mean, maybe they can bring it back in a different film. Why not, right?
Who knows?
That's what Willem Dafoe will look like in this one.
Oh yeah.
They'll use this prosthetic instead. All right, we have a couple of super chats to get to before we move on to our next topic. This one is from Bleeding Green. Thank you so much. Bleeding Green writes, for No Way Home, I say bring them all back. I really think this movie is going to be a blast. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
I think this movie is going to be so much fun, especially after the whole Mysterio thing. Like, what does everybody know? Because did he not reveal Spider-Man's identity at the end of the film?
Or not the post-credit? In the first one. Oh, are you talking about? Oh, No Way Far From Home.
Far From Home.
Yes, that J. Jonah Jameson spilled the beans on that.
Yeah, so we know he's probably going to be back in the movie. So yeah,
and that would also make a really interesting way of being able to be like, that's what he's saying. He can't be Spider-Man because there's a Spider-Man over there. And look,
it's the meme.
That's Tom. Yeah, it's it's the meme. So I think honestly, that is one way to kind of reset what they did in Far From Home, or make it so less people believe it. So Peter Parker, Tom Holland's Peter Parker. I'm like wait, that doesn't narrow it down. Could live kind of go back to the way it was.
Yeah.
But I'm just excited for them to open up the multiverse and to find out whether or not Venom is in this multiverse or another multiverse. I would still love to see Miles Morales pop up in Venom 2.
Yes, please, 100%. Yeah, and kind of like Bleeding Green is saying here, if they're all brought back, I really wouldn't mind. It's still going to be Tom Holland's Peter Parker movie, but I think it'd be cool if we're playing with multiverse or the Spider-Verse to bring in the other Spider-Man.
Yeah,
the Spider-Men. Why not? All the spiders. This next super chat comes from Hello What.
Thank you
so much. You wrote, oh, really? Movies don't surprise you? If my series becomes popular, challenge accepted. I will work hard and try my best. Fighting! Yay!
And honestly,
we applaud you.
I mean, it's not the fact that they don't surprise me. It's the fact that I feel bad because they have to. There's so many hoops they have to jump through. It's so difficult for them to keep their secrets. Imagine having this amazing idea. Oh, I have a great idea for a twist. This is how it's going to happen. And then we're going to bring in this special person only for this one scene. And then people find out. And then you're like,
wah, wah, wah.
We had this great thing going and they had to ruin my surprise.
Nothing's a surprise anymore.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep things.
It's not the fact that movies don't surprise me. It's the fact the surprise gets spoiled.
Is correct.
But I would love to see whatever surprise you've got in your for your film.
For your film and your book.
Mm-hmm.
Where is my newsflash? There we go. All right. Final topic before we go ahead and move on to the Bad Batch spoiler discussion for episode 5. Stardust, the app, is shutting down. So if you guys don't know, Stardust came about, 3, maybe 4 years ago. 3 or 4 years ago, and it's an app that is based in it's kind of like a reaction app, I guess, if that's kind of the best way I can put it, where you or us as movie fans and TV show fans can go on the app, kind of tag what a movie or a TV show we just saw and talk about the trailer that just dropped. So think like Instagram story or Snapchats that don't disappear, but solely for your reaction and quick thoughts on said TV show or movie. And it has built a really great community around everybody who loves cinema, because it's not just for superhero genres, it's for any and all movies and any and all TV shows. And you can kind of network and talk to other people. You can comment on it. You can say, oh, this is my thought. And I think it was a really cool app. Dustin and I have been on it for a little while. We did fall off a little bit because there's so many other social media things that we were trying to focus on and split our time. But we've been involved in a couple of Stardust events. One that I remember mostly, probably the finale for the Game of Thrones that they invited us to go and watch. There was a little red carpet, and we got to do just like having a fun time and meeting other reactors on the app. Jeremy was there, Grace was there. So I thought that was really cool. So I'm kind of sad that this is shutting down. And according to the statement that they put out, they said, "It is with heavy hearts we announced that Stardust will be closing its doors. As much as we love the app and the community we have built, we are unfortunately not able to grow the user base large enough to justify the continued investment needed to support the app. While we are heartbroken to share this sad news, we're so proud of the special place Stardust grew to be. So we owe it all to you." And they continue to say that they thank all the users for their contribution in making Stardust the most welcoming, amazing, and fun social community for the past 4 years. And we hope that the friendships that was built and the connections that was built lasts past the app. And the app, if you still have it, you don't have to delete it off your phone yet, because it's still going to be available until next Thursday, June 3rd. And they're going to provide a way for all the users to download all your reactions and other data for a period of time after that date. And they'll be sharing details soon on how we can do that. So that is just such a shame, because I know they worked very hard in trying to create this community for the fans, but unfortunately, like the statement said, they weren't able to gain a large enough amount of users to justify what is being put in to keep the app going, because it's expensive. Everything makes money.
Everything costs
takes
money.
Yeah, exactly. Late to the Party says, "That breaks our hearts. We are guilty of not posting on there very much the last couple of years." Yeah, same to you. And I know Debbie is an avid user of Stardust as well, and she says it truly sucks. I just appreciate that they had enough passion to build a whole app for this community of movie lovers and TV show lovers. And I think that's really, really great. And they did, having gone to some of the events that we've gone to,
they had some pretty cool events.
Yeah. And so that's definitely like, money that they're investing in all this to try to make it as great as possible. And I think it's just really unfortunate. And especially with the rise of in the larger social media platforms, such as, I almost said MySpace. That doesn't exist. Instagram, such as Instagram, TikTok, even Twitter now, you have these like quick stories, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, things like that, short bites. And I think there's so many more users on that platform that they're kind of like, it's hard to compete.
Yeah, no, and it makes perfect sense too. When all of these other platforms are like, well, now we're going to try this out. And hey, I like what they're doing over here, so let's do our own version of it. And it's really much the big companies that are just kind of like either gobbling up smaller companies, or the smaller companies just can't compete.
Right. And I kind of worry about that for Snapchat too, because I haven't been using it, but I still think that the Snapchat filters are superior to Instagram filters. The Instagram filters just look so like less natural. I know it's a filter, so it's not even meant to be natural, but I like the more subtle. Either I want them really subtle for like the quote unquote beauty filters, or really, really cute. And Snapchat does both of those better. And then Instagram essentially borrowed the idea from Snapchat. They still haven't done it better, in my opinion. Borrowed without permission. So anyways, we want to thank Stardust for being really awesome, for having included us in various screenings and events. And we hope that maybe the creators, I don't know, can turn their passion into something else and continue to celebrate movies. All right, should we go ahead and move on to our final topic for today?
Yeah, going to this Bad Batch spoilers, episode 5, Rampage.
Rampage and Dustin. Oh, by the way, before we get in here, since it's a spoiler discussion, if you guys have not watched the Bad Batch, the final episode, this may not be the perfect discussion for you, because you're like, wait, I didn't want to know about this. So just want to give you a heads up that we will be talking spoilers in this next segment. And with that said, let's go ahead and dive right in. This was a really fun episode to watch.
It was. Yes. I really liked it, especially the climactic battle at the end. I thought that was a lot of fun, and I was so excited to see a baby Rancor.
Who knew?
Well, adolescent Rancor.
Yes. And it's funny because from the very beginning, when they were being sent on this mission by Sid, I was thinking, right away, I didn't include this in our reaction. We talked about it, but I cut that part out for time. But as they landed, in at the location, I guess, And Omega was looking through her telescope, and or the scanner, and she was like, "Oh, there's Moochie, right?
Moochie. It was a Mochi.
No, it's not
Not
Mochi.
It was Moochie.
Moogie?
Moochie. It was Moochie.
Oh God, I'm forgetting the name already.
It was like Moochie.
And she, zoomed in on that one younger child, and she's like, "There they are." And I'm like, "But how do you?" And I said to Dustin, "How do you know that's them?"
Yeah.
And his response was because Sid had given them the bounty, the chip with all the info, and I thought maybe there was a photo. In my opinion, like when he said that, I was like, "Oh, there must have been a photo or a description of what Mochi looked like." Moochie.
No, it was Moochie. I'm pretty sure it was Moochie.
Moochie. Thank you. I'm like, Moochie? Moomy? But yeah, so I said that, and then I was thinking, it seems so like obvious and easy that the target was right there out in the open. So when Omega landed on Moochie's actual cage, and Dustin's like, Rampage. Could this be a Rancor?
And then boom!
It really was. Late to the party says, Robert, call the Rancor and Bib Fortuna as soon as they show the cage. Nice. Robert's got the eagle eyes. Like he picks up things like kind of like you.
Mm-hmm.
Pick it up real quick. I'm a little bit slower.
The bonus that Robert has, though, is that he will actually remember the name of the person. I was sitting there the entire time. I'm like, oh yeah, Jabba's translator, Jabba's secondhand person. What's their name? I don't know their name. Like, that's why I don't.
The guy with the thingy. That's what.
And Fortuna. Then finally, when we finally saw them, saw him walk in at the end going, "Where's Moochie?"
I had to see the full image I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw the full image, I was like, Bib Fortuna, duh. It was kind of the same when we got to see a sneak peek of him in The Mandalorian in the post-credit scene. I was like, Bib Fortuna? Huh?
I'm just a little sad that is going to be the Rancor that Luke's now. The time span fits.
Wait now.
Because if that Rancor is an adolescent now, and then Return of the Jedi, I believe, is 25 years.
30?
From Revenge of the Sith to Return of the Jedi, I think is 25 to 30 years. So I think that really could be the Rancor that Luke goes up against in Jabba's palace. And that kind of makes me kind of sad because Moochie was kind of cute.
Well, I will say this. In the comments of our reaction video, a lot of people, because we did say that, we're like, could this be the Rancor that we later see Luke fight when he is, in Jabba's palace? And a lot of the viewers who commented saying that it actually isn't, because the name, Moochie's female. And the one Luke fought is male. And that one apparently also had a name. I don't remember this at all, but Patissa was the name. Patissa was the name of the one that Luke fought, which is different from this one. However, that doesn't mean that we can't connect. And also, how much time between what's Robert happening? They have different names. Patissa is male Rancor in Jabba's palace. Okay. However, how much time do we know? And you, Movie Bunch, please help us out. Has passed from what we're seeing right now in the Bad Batch to Boba Fett taking over Jabba's palace. Because what if we saw grown Moochie in that? Would the timeline work or would it not work?
Jabba's palace. That is because it takes place. So that has to be at least 30 to 35 years between now in the Bad Batch and when Boba Fett takes over Jabba's palace, when he comes in and shoots Bib Fortuna. I think that's how long it is, because it takes place 5 years after Return of the Jedi, but yet, oh my gosh, I cannot tell you how many times I'm like, wait a second, no, Mandalorian's here. No, wait, no, Mandalorian's here. No, Mandalorian's here. I keep on flipping all of these around, and I need like a chart or a graph. And I know there's plenty of them out there. We should
probably download one so we always have it on the computer so we can refer to it. Like a detailed one, I'm sure with some like a Star Wars fan has made, or multiple Star Wars fans have made this to make it easier for us. Yeah, Jack says Star Wars timeline is crazy. It sure is. Late to the party says that would be awesome if Moochie showed up.
I think that'd be great, and it would make sense that these something that Dave Filoni probably would do, since he is now executive creative director,
nice
which I'm so happy to hear, is the fact that these different shows will start having little threads that connect them, just to make it so if you have fans that are watching every bit of content that's out there, it makes it so much fun to be like, oh, I know Mochi.
we know her. Santa, I know him. You sit on a throne of lies. Sorry, and now it's turned into an elf movie quote segment. Yeah, I think we definitely need a chart. So we're definitely gonna download a PDF of the timeline just so we always have it.
And the thing is, though, it's always changing though, because as they add more and more things in there,
Ahsoka, then this, and or acolytes.
Yeah,
whatever
I'm
else.
Really curious to see acolytes.
That's gonna be
acolyte.
Acolyte, yeah.
Is it singular? Or
singular,
plural?
I believe. Who knows? But it's gonna be great. Look, this episode of The Bad Batch was really a lot of fun. I like that they're starting to learn with Omega how to keep track of her. So they refitted Crosshair's comm on her. Smart. And I loved that they took the child approach of like her, like, this is my location. I can give you
Sid.
And they're literally right next to them, because that's what a kid would do. Also, though, that's what we would do 100%. If you gave Dustin and I very fancy like wrist comm walkie-talkies, we would be in the same apartment, but like, I'm in the room next to you. Copy, over. What would you like for lunch?
I can bring you in something if you want, kind of thing. And I honestly, it was funny that we were kind of talking about they need to put a leash on her. They kind of did. It's a digital leash that you can like, hey, Omega, where are you? Or, hey, let's track Omega's comm link and we'll be able to find her.
Yeah, absolutely. So we hope that we'll see the comm link, the communicator being in use a little bit more in future episodes. And I also we also cut this out of our reaction. I don't know why I did that, probably because we were just like watching in awe. Because somebody's like, we would have loved to see your reaction. I'm like, usually if a big moment's cut out, it's because we're like, in the screen into the TV, and there's like not much of reaction other than
yeah, there are a lot of times that we're just focused on it and there's really nothing to show. So it's kind of like when you have to cut it down, it makes sense to cut those when we don't have big reactions.
Yeah, but her new crossbow
that looks
weapon
sweet.
Looks really cool, and I can already see, hopefully Star Wars is like, we're making that toy right now. The patent is happening.
That is definitely product placement.
She does need a weapon. And she's, oftentimes, maybe she doesn't run off on her own, but I feel like with now the bounty hunter being after Omega, and who knows what other bounty hunter is going to pick up on this.
Oh, yeah.
She's going to need a way to defend herself. And I think if it fits on the wrist, it's always with her. So she can't like have it drop somewhere. It literally has to be broken off of her arm. Like, like if somebody like uses a blaster and they, like damage it during battle or something like that. So I love that they're trying to beef up Omega a little bit more. She's like a mini Bad Batcher, as she likes to call the little toy. And then one other thing we wanted to touch on was Wrecker. So we saw Wrecker in episode, in episode 3, he was complaining about his head hurting, especially after that bumpy landing that they had. And then they didn't really touch on it for the rest of the episode, and we assumed that maybe it was just a ploy for him to stay on the ship so he can build Omega's little sleeping area.
And for Hunter and Omega to have a little bit more of a father-daughter kind of moment.
A little bit of a moment. But then they brought it back again in this episode. He's like, oh, my head hurts. So with Tech constantly saying, he's working on a way to kind of disable the inhibitor chip and things like that. I think they're getting close to maybe not the exact same thing that happens to Crosshair, but something similar where he's going to have a hard time not wanting to follow the order of, like, not Order 66, but kind of doing what Crosshair is doing. And I would hate for them to go a whole different way where the chip completely overtakes all of Wrecker's decision making, and because he is so powerful, he can literally body check and you'll fly like 30
the fact that he can go head to head with the adolescent Rancor is impressive.
That was great seeing them like
I'm kind of
I can do this all day.
I'm kind of curious too if what will happen is that the chip will malfunction and Wrecker will just kind of go into a destructive rage kind of a thing. I would like to rage.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing.
It's a barbarian.
And he just turns into a complete barbarian. But I'm also curious on just how they're going to do it, because it seems like no one else is affected by the inhibitor chip. So for now, but it does also make Wrecker's also kind of like the good character to kind of turn into the guinea pig, to be kind of like, oh, okay, we need to make sure we're able to, that this chip won't control Wrecker, and he won't go into a I will kill everything around me kind of a rage, because you do not want your big strong tank to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we look forward to the new episode next week to see if we progress any more with Wrecker's head situation, with Fennec being on their tail. Is Sid going to turn on them or not? Because that was a really interesting scene that she had with Hunter at the end, where she's kind of like, these credits, there's a lot more where that came from if you want to help out. And then she kind of, the way she said, I can keep a secret, makes me slightly worried, because like
I can keep a secret for a price. I think that's the undertone.
Or do me a favor.
Keep me happy. But the thing is, though, she also did work for the Jedi.
Yes.
So she does have a preference of working for the good guys.
Yeah.
So as soon as she finds out that, okay, these are the good guys kind of a thing, I'm going to help them out as long as I don't stick my own neck out. As soon as they're in trouble, I'm sorry, I'm not going to stick my neck out for you.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, thank you so much for this comment from Jazz Kid. Hi, sorry, I know this is completely off topic, but I just want to say how much I enjoy watching both of you during WandaVision.
Thank you.
Felt like I had someone to watch it with. That's how I feel when I go and watch all the other reactions. So after we upload hours, and once I've got sufficient sleep, I will usually the hype train of watching our fellow reactors. It'll usually start with late to the party, and if the rejects have theirs up, I'll watch theirs, and then I'll just and then after that, usually all the suggestions pop up, so I don't even need to look. I'll just go and watch, because I want to see how people reacted to certain moments that we felt very strongly in certain episodes. And it's kind of like, oh, did they think of, was there something else that we didn't pick up as well? So I actually love that. So Jazz Kid, thank you so much for saying that. And we hope you guys are continuing to enjoy our reactions for the Bad Batch. And of course, coming up soon, Loki on June. So I'm going to have 2 nights where I don't sleep.
One of the things that I loved watching were other people's reaction to Luke Skywalker showing up in The Mandalorian. I loved watching other people's reaction of
still watch it till this day.
Yeah, we still watch him every now and again.
Your reaction, it's Luke.
I was like, that's an X-Wing. That's an X-Wing.
Oh, man.
And I'm proud of myself that I think out of a lot of reactors, I was one of the first people that immediately went from X-Wing to Luke.
It's Luke.
Some people had a few extra little steps, but I was like, bam.
And yeah, I think I was one of those. So I was like, X-Wing? Who could it be? I think my thought process was there's no way they're going to put Luke in there.
But I'm going,
happy to be wrong. So happy to be wrong.
I want them to put a young Luke into Book of Boba Fett. I want them to put a young Luke into season 4 of The Mandalorian, or into Ahsoka.
Hopefully soon. You never know.
Yeah, I want to see, because
but let's keep it a secret. Like, I feel like with Star Wars, if they can, hopefully keep it a secret. It's just hard because they have photographer and everything like around them. People trying to snoop all the time. So the second of Mark Hamill, or who knows, because we're talking young Luke Skywalker, a Sebastian Stan, shows up, I think your cover is blown. Your cover is blown. Like, that's pretty much it. So I wonder if they do that, how do they keep it all, under wraps? We have this super chat from Amr. Before we end our live stream today, Amr writes, 5 episodes in, and I'm still asking myself, who is Omega? I hope she's Jango Fett's sister or daughter, maybe? Oh. I mean, she does have the same accent as Jango.
Oh, yeah. That is kind of true. And I'm wondering, because there's a lot of videos out there that's talking about how Jango Fett's DNA is starting to get thin, kind of a thing. So they're using different things, and they used the blood of the Jedi Master Sifo Dyas to try to enhance Grievous, to make him force sensitive. But the process obviously did not work. And I want them to start doing kind of this deep dive into more and more of the cloning process, into Jango Fett. And this also makes Boba Fett even more valuable now because he is a direct clone. All of these other clones have been watered down, like a copy of a copy of a copy kind of a thing, which is now they're kind of the clones are kind of becoming like droids themselves.
What do they say? What do the Kaminoans say? Degraded.
Yeah.
The DNA of Jango Fett are degrading, is what she said in, I think, episode 3. So that's important information. And yeah, I keep asking myself, who is Omega? Like, I think we established that she is a clone, but she is a superior clone, which is why they want her back, which is why Fennec is going after her.
Mm-hmm.
But exactly, what is it exactly about her? And every time they add on things for her, such as like a new weapon or whatever, we saw her the first time she picked up that sniper blaster, and she was sharp shot. Yeah, she had a crosshair, and I was surprised because she's never picked that up before. And to be able to understand the mechanics really quickly it's really impressive. So I can't wait to see. She's gonna be a badass.
And
she's gonna like Jedi flip over things.
And it makes sense that they wouldn't give her like a blaster, because I think Disney does not want to promote giving guns to kids. However, a bow and arrow or a crossbow, that works.
They could just like beef her up, right? Like every single opponent they see they don't have a blaster, take a weapon from there. So she's got the crossbow. She could have taken the whip.
Yeah.
You know, from this episode, those looking, and she'll just have like all these like different weapons on her. She's like, oh yeah.
And I like the fact that they're also bringing back characters and races from like the Clone Wars, like the slavers. I thought it was really cool to see them again and to see that kind of shock whip that they use.
You said it too, and I also think I edited that out of the reaction. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
A comment from Aaron here. Aaron writes, hi guys, the new Loki series is just around the corner. It sure is. On June 9th on Wednesday. Will there ever be a watch alone live stream to watch Loki together? So we would love to, first of all, here is some of the obstacles in a watch along, is that obviously we wouldn't be doing it via, we wouldn't be able to show the picture in the video. Like there would be no way the stream would go down and would get blocked immediately. It could potentially put this channel at jeopardy, which is something we do not want.
You get like 3 strikes immediately.
Yeah, we're I don't know about that, but like, either way, that's something we probably want to avoid. But I also worry about having the sound play, because they can also copyright claim you and block you for having the sound play, especially throughout the entire episode. I'm assuming these episodes, I don't think we know the runtime per episode.
Yeah, each one is a little different.
So because like Falcon Winter Soldier, about 40-50 minutes, WandaVision, half hour, 30 to 40. So I am really not sure, but we could potentially do it in so on our Discord, we do have a spoiler discussion channel for Loki, potentially, if everybody wants to, because you can mute the channel so you didn't get notifications, which we highly recommend, so you didn't get anything spoiled for you. But we could potentially all watch together and use the channel as a way to live watch. So that's kind of the best scenario I can think of right now, because normally we wouldn't live stream it because we're filming our reaction. So there's a lot going on for the both of us trying to watch the live stream and pay attention to the show and then be able to review it afterwards. So that's kind of what we're thinking. But a great point to bring up, because we should probably have discuss it. So right now we're not sure if we would be doing a watch party. Maybe we could do like a rewatch. That'd be something a little bit different.
That could be kind of cool.
Yeah, that'd be a little bit different. Or we
could probably do it with shows that we're not recording a reaction to, kind of a thing. Because then we can actually separate and be like, okay, no, this show, we're just going to make it a watch party.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. This show is being recorded so we can actually do a reaction video to.
Yes.
Like maybe something that we're not keeping up to date on.
Maybe like if we do like a rewatch of like Mighty Ducks, like when the series comes to, and then we can like do that. Like that'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. So let us know in the comments, in the chat, or on our Discord if that's something you'd be interested in the show that we're not filming our reaction for. And yeah, so keep them coming. You guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. We love chatting with you on all the topics. And of course, every Saturday is the Bad Batch. Oh, also let us know in the chat, probably in the comments better, or in the Discord. Let us know when you would want to see us like do the live stream spoiler discussion for Loki, because it comes out on Wednesday, which means Tuesday night. But is that too soon? Because for the Bad Batch, we have a whole day essentially, because it drops midnight, Friday midnight, like early morning. And I feel like with Loki, we're not getting that full 24 hours. We're getting a little bit later. So I wonder if you guys would like to see Loki and the Bad Batch discussed together on the same live stream, which would be on a Saturday. So let us know. All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We will be back on Wednesday with another live stream, so we will see you then. In the meantime, don't forget to check out the channel for the latest reviews, reactions, and so much more. And I'll be streaming on Twitch tomorrow with more Paper Mario. So I will see you guys there. It's twitch.tv/Wendy Lee Zaney. And that is it, guys. We will talk to you real soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye.